The state of Texas is preparing for an invasion of flesh-eating flies. A warning has been issued about some seriously dangerous fire ants that are marching across the United States, and some prisoners in Australia allegedly ate guinea pigs that were taken from an animal shelter. These are the weird stories on Weird AF News, the only daily weird news podcast in the earth. In the earth? On the earth. Well, kind of like around the earth, around the galaxy, maybe. The state of Texas is preparing itself for an invasion of flesh-eating flies. Egads, did you say flesh-eating flies? I did. I said flesh-eating flies. Who knew that they even existed? The state of Texas is gearing up for war as a savage flesh-eating fly appears ready for a U.S. invasion and is expanding its range of victims. The Texas Department of Agriculture just announced the debut of TDA Swarm Lure. This is a synthetic bait designed to attract these flesh-eating flies with a scent that mimics open flesh wounds. My goodness, they're attracted to the smell of open flesh wounds? That sounds serious. That's a nightmare. New fear unlocked on Weird AF News. This fly parasite, which they're calling the New World screwworm, a screwworm, it exploits any open wound or orifice. No, not my orifices. You can have my wounds, but you stay away from my orifice, all right? I don't give consent to any flesh-eating critters when it comes to my orifices. You'll be happy to learn that the female flesh-eating flies love to lay hundreds of eggs, even in the most tiny of abrasions on the skin. Oh my God, did you cut yourself shaving? And now you got hundreds of eggs in your chin. That sounds great. Wow, Texas is a very scary place. First Governor Abbott, now this, flesh-eating flies. And they just had floods. What next? A pestilence? Is God trying to say something to Texas? Because this is some biblical disasters going on over there right now in the Lone Star State. Did you guys know it's called the Lone Star State? That's because their rating is just one lone star. All right, I won't make fun of Texas too bad. After all, they got some flesh-eating flies on the way. Do you want to hear what they do once they lay eggs in the skin? Oh, man, this is horrible. You want me to read it? All in favor say aye. Ayes have it. Okay, so they lay the eggs, and from there, larvae, right, emerge and twist and bore into their victim, eating them alive and causing a putrid, life-threatening lesion. There's a photo of it here, an example of what the flies did to a deer, but I'm not going to click on it. No. I don't think I want to see what the flesh-eating flies did to a deer. Now, it turns out these flies attack livestock mostly, and Texas stands to suffer some heavy livestock losses because of this fly invasion. The screwworms are a ferocious foe to many animals, but are particularly devastating to the farm type of animals. Now, never fear, Texas is taking their steps to prevent the flesh-eating fly from getting at their livestock and perhaps small children. These steps include a new bait, insecticides, new feed for the livestock and deer laced with the anti-parasitic drug ivermectin. Oh, I remember ivermectin from COVID. That was what those morons were taking. They also say that the state aims to develop a vaccine for the cattle that could kill the larvae, but this vaccine shot is still in development. Well, let's hope that they can get control of this flesh-eating fly in the state of Texas. We feel bad for them. They've been going through a lot lately. The good news is they still got great barbecue and gas is cheap, which is nice in case you want to drive away from the flesh-eating flies. Another thing you might want to consider is maybe build a wall and make the flies pay for it. That could be a way to combat this invasion. Deadly killer fire ants are making their way across the United States. Did you say fire ants? That's right, I said fire ants. Coming to a backyard near you. That's right, everybody. We just had flesh-eating flies, and now we got some deadly fire ants making their way across the U.S. This is just a show about deadly critters today, obviously. This is a new hybrid fire ant, and they're marching across the United States. The hybrid, that means they're run on gas and electricity, these fire ants. Scientists say the fire ants can handle nearly any weather conditions or terrain that it encounters in the country, which is kind of bad news because this means they're going to spread to colder environments that probably are no longer colder because of, who knows, climate change or whatever. It does seem like everything's getting hotter, right? So fire ants typically be in the south. I'm sure some of you have experienced fire ants in the south. Well, now they're moving They're moving, guys. They're moving north. A lot of people don't know this, but the fire ants have their own theme song as they're marching north. It goes like this: fire ants, doing whatever the fire ants can do. They build these mounds in your backyard where your children play and then they eat your family. Here come the fire ants, dun, dun. And now that you're familiar with the theme song of the fire ants, if you hear it, make sure you run away. Run away! All right, let me get back to the story and give you all the details. Back to the story. You haven't even begun the story, Jonesy. We have no details except for some dumb song that you made up. I know. This is dubbed the Frankenstein ant by the local residents. This invasive species of fire ants is a cross between the red imported fire ant and the black imported fire ant and has now taken root in almost every state in the U.S. All of them? Goodness, I got questions. First question, who imported these fire ants? Why would you import fire ants? I can see importing bananas. Those are delicious, although they contain a little bit of radiation. Importing Nintendos, that's a wonderful thing to do. I support importing Nintendos. I don't know why you would import ants. I covered a story they were smuggling ants on a plane. Did you see that? They had like 15,000 ants in little vials. Did somebody at some point in history do the same thing with fire ants? Why would you do that? They do have some information about the history of the importation of these fire ants. It says the first imported fire ants slipped into Mobile, Alabama in the early 1900s and spread through the Gulf states before federal regulators declared a quarantine. That was in 1958. As land warmed, the ants pushed further north, filling every county in Georgia and Alabama, and then climbing into the Appalachian foothills. Hybrid colonies have even leapfrogged even further, showing up 250 miles beyond the traditional fire ant frontier in less than a decade. Range mapping studies estimate that the insects now occupy more than 100,000 square miles of new territory since 2015. The new hybrid fire ants can survive for up to 2 hours at 28 degrees Fahrenheit, which is twice the endurance of their red and black relatives. Researchers suspect that genes from membrane stability in cold cells hitchhiked across species lines, giving the offspring an all-weather edge. The ants are getting much more powerful, Professor. Do you want some more details on how scary these ants are? Am I ruining your day with this story? Let me tell you about the winged males and females. They ride thermal updrafts every spring, drifting as far as 12 miles before finding new nests. The nests are even getting bigger and deeper. And a mature fire ant nest can shelter 500,000 workers and dozens of queens. They also have venom. Isn't that good news? They got venom. They got some serious venom, guys. The venom packs an alkaloid called solanopsin that causes painful pustules. Oh, man, that's the last thing I want is some painful pustules. They're not good for my complexion. And what's worse, some people are very sensitive to the sting of a fire ant, and they can experience life-threatening anaphylaxis shock. Doctors in fire ant counties report that about 5% of sting victims actually need emergency care. And don't get me started with the livestock. Livestock suffers as well. Newborn calves, fowls, and chicks can be blinded or suffocated when ants mob the birthing sites. Poultry producers lose thousands of eggs each year as foraging workers chew through their shells. I can't get anything across with this accent. Electric utilities spend millions replacing transformers and junction boxes after the ants bridge contacts with their bodies. Wow, so the ants actually ruin utilities as well? These are awful. What are we going to do about these ants, man? You're going to have to get the flesh-eating flies to fight them somehow. I don't know how. Maybe if the flesh-eating flies stole one of the ant queens, you know, it's sort of like the Trojan War was all because of Helen was the most beautiful woman on earth was kidnapped. So maybe we take one of their queens and make it look like the flies did it, and then we create the war. I'm just trying to solve problems here, you know. Now, the next section of this article is called Managing the Menace. Because the fire ants travel in nursery plants, sod, and hay bales, regulators use a patchwork of state and federal quarantines in order to slow the spread. Inspectors look for telltale soil pellets and require producers to treat stock with certified baits before shipping. But what do I do if I own a home in one of the quarantine zones? Well, if you own a home in a quarantine zone, you can protect your pets and children by broadcasting hydromethanol. Hydramethanon. They're granules, and they're delicious. So I don't know what you do with the granules. You'll figure it out. Let's watch a YouTube video. What can you do today? Oh, another section. What you can do today? You could check your flower pots and your bird houses and your trailers before moving them a few miles, because a single queen and a handful of workers can start a new infestation. Okay, this is all important, guys, because the ants are moving. They're marching north. They're marching north. Fire ants, fire ants. Prisoners in Australia ate guinea pigs that were taken from an animal shelter. It's another story about little critters here. I couldn't find a third insect story, so I'm doing guinea pigs here. It's a very special episode on Weird AF News. 3 segments all about little critters. This story is out of Australia. Prison farm inmates allegedly ate some guinea pigs that they took from a Perth animal shelter while they were out on a supervised work program. Roger Cook is the premier. He says while he's not against eating guinea pigs, he's disgusted by the alleged behavior of the prisoners. How about that? He's not against eating guinea pigs. Are they delicious? I've never eaten guinea pigs. I didn't even know people were eating guinea pigs. Maybe we should learn a little bit about the people that eat the guinea pigs in this world. All right, while I was Googling the best way to eat guinea pigs, I learned that I can't spell guinea pig. Very hard to spell guinea. Can any of you spell guinea? I dare you to try to spell guinea right now in your head. You're not going to get it right the first time. I guarantee it. Nonetheless, I just learned that guinea pig is very popular down in South America, especially Peru. They eat it. It says the most delicious ways to prepare guinea pig is baked guinea pig and deep fried guinea pig. These are 2 popular and highly regarded preparations, particularly in Peru. The dishes are often associated with special occasions and celebrations. Wow, it's a special occasion to eat some guinea pig down there in Peru. I'm not judging them eating guinea pigs. It's a different culture. They eat different things in different cultures. You know, the way we do business isn't the best way to do business, all right? We eat things that other countries are probably like, that's disgusto, bro. So I'm not about to yuck their yum down in South America. Maybe it's delicious. Guinea piggy kebabs, guinea piggy burritos, mini guinea tacos. What about guinea piggy stew or guinea piggies in a blanket? Some of you probably have pet guinea pigs right now listening to this, and you're like, this is horrific. What a nightmare. How could you, Jonesy? Well, let's get into the story. Maybe you'll feel better because there's going to be justice for these guinea pigs down in Australia. Right now, the Department of Corrections Services is investigating these allegations of the prisoners eating guinea pigs from a Perth animal shelter. The prisoners alleged to have been involved were part of the Warolo Prison Farms Section 95 program, which allows minimum security prisoners to participate in supervised work programs in the community. So they took jobs at the animal shelter and then just ate the animals? Is that what happened? Crazy. The Corrective Services Commissioner Brad said an investigation was sparked after a prison staff member found guinea pig carcasses being stored in a shed outside the prison perimeter. It says here they didn't get them actually inside the prison. They have an external area where they maintain tool sheds, such as for working in the community, they say. The prisoners working at an animal shelter were told the animals were quite tasty, and they began slaughtering some of the disowned pets for meat to cook at the prison, according to the media. Well, you know, it's not okay to be taking the animals from the shelter, you know, but before we judge this whole move here, I think we need to learn how bad the prison food is down there. I mean, if they're feeding them some bad stuff, I mean, can you blame the guys for eating some delicious little guinea pigs? Now, pending the investigation, all Section 95 programs have been suspended, pending the outcome. I guess that means they're not allowing them to leave the prison to do their work assignments. The Premier, Roger Cook, had a press conference about this. He said he's appalled by the revelations that potentially guinea pigs were surrendered up for someone's meal in a prison. He says, quote, I understand in some cultures they're considered a delicacy, but it's inappropriate for prison personnel on day release to take advantage of an opportunity at an animal refuge. This is disgusting behavior. Well, don't knock it till you try it, Roger. Eh? Guinea pigs might be a delicacy, eh? That was my bad attempt at doing an Australian accent. I don't know. Would you guys try guinea pig? I'm curious. Has anyone tried it? Anyone? I got some South American listeners, I think. Not too many. I would give it a try. I'm not going to steal animals from a shelter and eat them. You know, I draw the line at my neighbor's pets. Just kidding, guys. Just kidding. I wouldn't eat my neighbor's pets. Unless that damn chihuahua doesn't shut up. I'm just kidding. It's all jokes, guys. And the guinea pigs were all eaten, and the children were all so sad. Hey, my listeners, what's going on? I'm just making up some songs over here to entertain you. I'm dancing for you. Appreciate it. Let's give some thanks and praise. People bought me coffees over the weekend, and that was pretty rad, man. First up, Jojo. Jojo lives in Texas. Jojo bought me coffees and wrote, I was going to donate this to Tweaking Tarantula Research, but your meth snails inspired me to spend it more wisely. Thanks for keeping it weird and helping me start my day. Good luck with your life, man. Por vida. Shout out to Jojo. Jojo's been a long-time listener and supporter of the pod. We love Jojo. Beautiful, beautiful listener in Texas. Josephus bought me a coffee. Josephus has bought me coffee before because I remember the first time Josephus bought me coffee. I was wondering if Josephus was a gladiator. Do you guys remember that? Probably not. Anyways, I remember Josephus. Josephus says, Hey, Jonesy, I thought I'd offer my theory on where the phrase slide into my DMs came from. When the instant messenger window would pop up, it would slide up or over into the corner of your screen. Sound plausible? Thanks for helping keeping me sane with all the weird news. You're welcome, Josephus, and thanks for helping me stay caffeinated with your generous donation. Buying me a coffee off my website, weirdafnews.com. That's where you can go and support the show. And didn't you know? Did you know you support a show that does just stories about critters? Did you do 3 stories about... He did 3 stories about critters today, did he? I can't believe he did 3 stories about critters. Did you hear that? He did all 3 was about critters of some sort. What? He did 3 stories about critters? You're kidding me. No, I wouldn't kid you about that. Listen to the whole episode. Got to the end. There was more critters. All that. Really, critters? Well, I mean, perhaps it's just a reflection of all the weird critter-related stories that are in the news this week. Yes, that could be it. Yes, that's the case, guys. It's weird critter stories in the news. So, I don't know. I was trying to cull them all together in a single theme. You know, we do Florida Friday. Well, I just did Creature Monday, Insect Monday. Anyone can think of something better? I'm never doing it again, but, we did it today. Anyways, I hope you had a nice weekend, did you? I did some shows and tried to deal with the heat. We had a little heat wave in Los Angeles. It was a little brutal, but we managed, guys. We managed. Anyways, I hope you're all doing well. If you would like to support the show, please consider leaving a review or buying me a coffee off the website, weirdafnews.com, like a cool person. You can also join the Patreon. And then if you join the Patreon, you can join the Weird AF News Fantasy Football League. What's up? I'm going to have a few slots available in the 12-team league. So I think there's 3 available slots right now, a minimum of 2 that I know of. So if any of you are in the Patreon already and want to join the league as an owner, please send me a message, funnyjones@gmail.com, or message me in the Patreon as well. That works. Just get me a message. Tell me that you want in, and I'll send you a link, and you can become a team owner. Now, if you are not a member of the Patreon and you want to play in the Fantasy Football League, Season 2, a chance to beat Jonesy, no one's done it yet, you'll have to join the Patreon. Go to patreon.com/weirdafnews or weirdafnews.com. Okay, sayonara.